It's a new way to plan your day. Get the weather information you need from Marshall Cease and Heather Tesh, including your local forecast on the 8th. Tune into Your Weather Today, weekday mornings from 7 till 9 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
A good chance of more snow beginning to invade the southeastern part of the country, and by the end of the weekend, Raleigh, Durham, North Carolina, you'll be looking at some more snowfall as well. Next 24 hours, we'll show you what's going to be happening, because here comes the snow beginning to fly eastbound. It will be affecting places like Tulsa, Oklahoma City with some freezing
mess into the morning. Birmingham, some snow, Atlanta, clouds, snow later on, thunderstorms in New Orleans. Cloudy, trying to clear out in Houston, clouds for Dallas, snow lingering back towards Little Rock, Tulsa, even to Memphis. We're talking about some snow. In the Midwest, some light snow showers continue. You might see some snow around Kansas City. I think St. Louis will be dry, but chilly in the upper Midwest. And out towards the west, well, we're still looking for some more snow in the Rockies. Otherwise, watch out for the fog in the Central Valley.
In the insurance business, they say persistence pays off. The book's called Be Cool About Fire Safety. Last year, I passed out about 10,000 copies to kids in Albany County. One went to a little girl who saved her family when their house caught fire. This year, I'm passing out more books. Because in this business, did I mention, persistence pays off. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
To find an agent near you, contact 1-800-ALLSTATE or visit our website at allstate.com.
Stay tuned. Now's your chance to get 6 Click Lights, a $60 value absolutely free. Now you can get the extra light you need, where you need it, when you need it, without wiring, without installation, and without all the cost. You can use Click Lights anywhere. They're great for those late night trips to the washroom. The soft ambient light shows you the way, but leaves your spouse sleeping comfortably. In the kitchen, they're great for dark cabinets and closets. Use your Click Lights inside and out, upstairs and down. With one easy click, you've got all the light you need. Adults love them, seniors love them, and look, Click Lights are great for kids, too. You've seen similar products selling for as much as $10 each. Call now. You'll get the 6-piece Click Light system, a $60 value, absolutely free. As a special bonus, everyone who calls today will also receive a 30-day free trial membership in America's Advantage Discount Buying Club. Have your credit card ready. All you'll pay is $6.95 shipping and handling, and call the number on your screen. You'll get your free Click Lights plus your 30-day free trial membership in the America's Advantage Discount Buying Club.
It's a new way to plan your day. Get the weather information you need from Marshall Cease and Heather Tesh, including your local forecast on the 8th. Tune into Your Weather Today, weekday mornings from 7 till 9 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
Dear John, this is really hard for me to do. But I can't keep pretending everything is fine when it's not. I know relationships are built on trust, so I have to tell you, I found someone more reliable. I mean, I can save up to 25%. It's from the GE Auto Insurance Program. You know I can't do better than that. They made it easy. I can switch right away. You'd have found out eventually, but I wanted you to hear it from me. Thanks for being there, and good luck with your other customers.
The GE Auto Insurance Program. 1-800-569-4651. Save up to 25%, maybe more. Call 1-800-569-4651 today.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Get the forecast for the next 7 days in your weekly planner.
I will talk louder and say exactly what I feel and whistle at all the cute boys in their pickups.
Time for the weekly planner. We'll start with the jet stream. As we take a look, the southern branch of the jet stream is still pretty strong. All it's doing is bringing storms across this region, while the northern branch, we're going to see this trough here actually come into play with this one storm system that's spinning out of Texas, moving in throughout the southeast. This trough will help to bring this storm through the Carolinas, into the mid-Atlantic region, eventually into the Northeast and New England. And if you're in the Mid-Atlantic or the Northeast, even in the Carolinas, you remember earlier this week and all that heavy snow. You could have a repeat performance of snow later in the weekend because this storm system will be ejected throughout the Atlantic coast here. Let's take a look. First, starting with Friday. Friday is going to be a mess throughout a good deal of the southeast here. Not so much because of the snow. I mean, some people might only get, say, 2 or 4 inches of snow. That is manageable. But it's this region here, the orange, the pink. We're talking sleet, freezing rain, some snow mixed in, perhaps some freezing drizzle. And that is the stuff you don't want to deal with in driving, even, you know, staying home, because that ice accumulates on the power lines, on the trees. The trees start to fall, the power lines start to snap. You're without power. Your furnace can't go on. You get cold. You don't have electricity to cook with. This is the type of situation, the kind of ice storm that you don't want to see throughout populated regions. But eventually, as we head on towards Saturday, this system here, bringing some more snow over the Rockies tonight into tomorrow, will start merging in with this system. We'll bring more snow to St. Louis the day before the Super Bowl. More snow is extended in Nashville, but it also continues to extend this event here in the southeast, especially around Atlanta, even down towards Macon, and is also moving into the Carolinas. This system, we talked about that trough here in the Midwest, will help to push this storm into the Mid-Atlantic region just in time for Sunday. Super Bowl Sunday, you might want to stay home and watch the game because depending on how close or how far offshore this center of rotation will be on the storm system, we could see, again, some rain by the coast, quick mixture, sleet, freezing rain, then all snow, or all this could be snow. And it will continue into Monday. This is great news. If kids don't want to go to school on Monday, it might be called off because of more snow, but not the best if you have to head to work, if you have to drive in this. Meanwhile, out towards the west, we're seeing onshore flow return. More rain and snow to high elevation starting as early as Sunday, continuing into Monday, moving into Salt Lake City, and then by Tuesday, the snow moving into Denver. Meanwhile, our first system is finally winding down, but still some leftover snow showers continue into Wednesday, and then by Thursday, we start seeing more snow and rain out towards the west, and a little more rain in parts of the lower Mississippi Valley, moving into the Ohio Valley with perhaps a mixture of rain and snow. High temperatures tomorrow, frigidly cold throughout the Northeast, most of the Midwest, in the plains, Dallas only in the 30s tomorrow. We'll have a gradual warm-up throughout the Southeast as we head throughout the weekend and into the beginning of next week. Again, by Tuesday, we're talking about 50s returning to Atlanta.
An Ocean Spray Ruby Red Grapefruit. Delicious by itself, but when you pair it up with a plum sweet strawberry, you get a taste that's pure magic. Introducing new Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Strawberry. A delightful combination of premium ruby red grapefruits from Florida and juicy sun-ripened strawberries that virtually dances on your tongue. New Ocean Spray Ruby Red and Strawberry. Give it a spin. Ocean Spray. You know it's good.
Now there's a free CD-ROM from Strong Investments that can help keep your retirement dreams from slipping away. Just call 1-888-2-STRONG and it's yours free. You're one call away from a strong portfolio.
I love working here. It's exciting, feeling like we're changing things for the better. At Zurich Direct, there are no surprises. You call us and we give you a free quote on high-quality term life insurance with no strings attached. And these rates are up to 70% less than what some other insurers charge. I mean, why pay more than you have to?
Hi, thank you for calling Zurich Direct. This is Wendy. How may I help you?
It really is simple.
Well, Mr. Madden, you're 42 in good health and you don't smoke? That's great. A 10-year, $250,000 policy is just $23 a month, and your rate is guaranteed.
Everybody has questions when they call in. They want to know they're doing business with the right company. You'd be amazed how many letters we get from people just saying thanks.
Well, you can choose a 5, 10, 15, or 20.
Coverage can start in just a few weeks.
Sure, I can help you with that. I'll just...
Absolutely. I think everyone should call Zurich Direct. But then again, I'm probably a little partial.
Call 1-800-330-8162. Zurich Direct, a unit of Zurich Kemper Life.
Out of gas. Stranded. It can happen to anyone. Don't let it happen to you. Introducing Rescue. Safe to store in your trunk and safe for your engine. It can have you back on the road in no time. Rescue from Pennzoil. Better safe than stranded.
We interrupt this program for an important news brief. MCI Now offers 5 cents a minute every day, so you can call every evening and all weekend long. To sign up, just punch in 1-800 every day.
Oh, man, what a ham.
Call 1-800 every day to join.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Brace yourself for a wintry weekend in the southeast as a major storm charges across the region. The storm has left behind some snowy memories. For example, you'll remember the traffic in Little Rock today. And will the big show turn into the big snow? We'll talk about Super Bowl Sunday weather in Georgia. Good evening, I'm Kim Perez, and welcome to this edition of Weather Center, sponsored by International Paper.
And I'm Paul Goodloe. The major storm has our attention tonight, and as it will also be a threat to much of the nation as we head throughout the weekend and the beginning of next week. Here's the latest details. As you take a look at the surface, we're still seeing plenty of rain in the southern stretches of this storm system, but we're also concerned about that orange section. That's where we're seeing temperatures at or right around the freezing mark. So we're seeing a mixture of some rain, some sleet, and some freezing rain as well. North of that, the white, that's all snow, and some areas could be picking up well over a half-foot of snow in states like Arkansas, states like Mississippi, and it's heading towards Alabama. It's also heading towards Georgia as well. Now, parts of northern Louisiana were slapped with a wintry mix, and that mix is a combination of snow, sleet, and freezing rain that makes a mess of the roads. These scenes are from Shreveport. The weather actually closed schools and government offices in at least 16 Louisiana parishes. Winter weather expert Paul Kocin has been tracking the storm and now joins us with more insight. Paul?
Good evening, everyone. We do have some serious conditions moving across the southern United States. And even though we're looking at Atlanta for being a problem, you may escape tomorrow morning, but you're going to escape just barely, because it does look like even if you miss it during the morning rush hour as far as the snow, that snow will be increasing during the day, especially across portions of central and northern Georgia. And by tomorrow evening's rush hour, it will probably be bad enough that there will be a lot of serious problems on the roads in the Atlanta metropolitan area, not to mention the fact that from Birmingham, northern Mississippi, Memphis, Little Rock, it's going to be some major driving problems throughout the night and through the day tomorrow. Let's take a look at the current radar and really focus on what's going on. Right now, it looks like even though the radar echoes are showing snowfall coming down, this is all aloft, but it is suggestive that it will take a while as evaporational cooling comes into play, that the snowfall will eventually saturate and reach the surface. But this is where, in this region right in here, where all the snowfall is occurring now at the surface, which means Memphis, you are now getting into the snow. Tupelo, you're now seeing the snow. It is now snowing across much of western Alabama. Even though it looks like it's snowing, snow is not reaching the ground yet in Birmingham, Alabama, but probably within the next 1 to 2 hours, you too will see the beginnings of the snowfall. Across northern Mississippi, you've been seeing heavy snows. We're not getting reports as yet as far as snow depths, but based on some of the precipitation reports, it is not surprising to see amounts on the order of 6 inches, possibly even more, north of the Jackson area, especially across portions of Greenville and Greenwood, moving towards Columbus. Now you're starting to get into some of the more significant snow. We're also seeing a redevelopment of the back edge of the snowfall, even in Little Rock, Arkansas, so expect a good another 1 to 2 inches occurring across central portions of Arkansas, where you've seen already amounts on the order of at least 6 to 10 inches, and in some places 14 inches of snow. So very serious situation across portions of southern Arkansas tonight. Memphis, you'll see that snowfall really begin to pick up over the next few hours, and look for at least 2 to 4 inches of snow. Even in Birmingham, Alabama, no snowfall at this point, but look for accumulations at least on the order of 2 to 4 inches. And Atlanta, Georgia, will be focusing on you in terms of getting snowfall tomorrow evening on the order of at least 1 to 3 inches, then a change to sleet overnight, and then a change to freezing rain on Friday, a real problem. Then we look for conditions to worsen steadily through the day on Saturday and Sunday up along the East Coast. Let's go back to the studio.
Thanks. It's Paul Kocin, our winter weather expert, and what he just said does not bode well for Super Bowl fans. Again, this is Super Bowl Sunday coming up, and Atlanta is the city for the Super Bowl, and Atlanta right now is a potential target for this storm. And we have our very own Jeff Morrow standing by now to talk about the Super Bowl. So, Jeff, what do you think is going to happen this weekend in terms of the roadways?
Well, the roads are probably going to be a mess. It doesn't snow all that often in the Deep South, but it seems like in the last week, Atlanta's certainly been getting its share of the wintry weather. And typically, if it does happen here in the Deep South, particularly Atlanta, it's going to happen in January or particularly on into early February, occasionally in March or December. But this is the time of the year for the wintry weather. Unfortunately, as you mentioned, with the Super Bowl in town, that's really bad timing. But have to take it. Here it comes. And it looks like, as Paul was saying, maybe okay in the morning on Friday, but that may just allow some people to maybe get into work, and then maybe when they're trying to get home from work, things could be going downhill in a big hurry. Let's take a look at a special graphic we have put together here to talk about some of the conditions here across the Deep South. Again, we've picked out a couple of cities. Again, Paul was talking about the 6 to 10 inches of snow in Little Rock and the freezing rain, the ice and the sleet farther south from near Jackson, Mississippi, and we think anywhere south of Birmingham to Montgomery, Alabama may be dealing with that as well. South side of Atlanta may eventually be mostly ice and sleet, while north of the city it would be mainly on the snowy side. So again, we've got our work cut out for us here. All the DOTs do, definitely, and that's where we are tonight. That's one of the big salt and sand trucks behind me with a big snow plow on it. Maybe not much of a workout tomorrow morning, as we heard Paul Kocin just say, but they'll be ready when it does arrive, more likely now, maybe late into the afternoon and on into the evening. We'll be here to report it live to you. Let's get back to you now in the studio, Paul.
Thanks. That's Jeff Moore reporting live from Atlanta, Georgia. Let's take a look at the road conditions right now. As going into the morning, we're still worried about rain in I-10. As we head north, I-20, we're talking about a wintry mix. Also, as we head towards Birmingham, we're talking about snow eventually throughout the day. That will extend as I-20 moves through Atlanta. North of here, we're talking about all snow. How much snow have we seen in parts of the southeast? Take a look at this graphic. You see that? The darker purple? That's over a foot of snow in parts of Arkansas, even in parts of Oklahoma. Now, some of the snow in Oklahoma is actually from yesterday and from today as well, so quite a bit of snow on the ground. In terms of how much snow can we see as we head throughout the night into the morning, the lighter pink, we're talking over a half foot of snow. We're also concerned about the green here. We're talking about well over an inch of rain throughout Louisiana and southern Mississippi. Temperatures still 50 degrees in New Orleans, 61 in Brownsville, cooling down because of some rain showers, but still more rain. You can even see some more thunderstorms throughout Louisiana, moving into southern Mississippi and southern Alabama as we head towards the morning, as well as the panhandle of Florida. South Texas, we're finally saying goodbye to these thunderstorms as they cross the border into Mexico. Brownsville should be quieting down over the next 20 minutes or so. High temperatures, 80 in Brownsville, a lot of heat, a lot of warmth to fuel those thunderstorms. And also take a look at Florida. Kind of chilly today. In fact, numerous cities had record low temperatures. We dropped down into the 30s in parts of South Florida. Well, the 30s sound balmy when you look at some of the temperatures here in the Midwest and the Northeast. To talk more about the weather here, here's Kim.
Oh, it's been cold here. It's been white. I mean, we've had so much snow here, and it's still very cold out there this evening, and we think temperatures are going to get close to zero for many of you, if not below zero, but it's the wind chill that's going to be even worse than that tonight. High pressure over the Midwest and the Great Lakes. Well, it's actually keeping the snow away from you, but it's also going to keep temperatures cold tonight because we don't have the clouds to keep the warm air that, or the heating that was there during the daytime is allowed to escape. So we're going to see some very cold temperatures tonight in the Ohio Valley as well. A little bit of lake effect snow still going on out there tonight. Not a lot of it. We have northwest flow, and that's not a really good trajectory for lake effect snow. But still around Buffalo, we're still picking up a little bit here tonight, and also just east of Cleveland. But with those northwest winds across New England and the Northeast, that means some cold air still coming southward. Temperatures out there tonight, 4 degrees in Albany, 9 degrees right now in Boston. Philadelphia, you're at 15 degrees. But it's the winds and the wind chill that make it feel even worse. We still have winds gusting out of the northwest 20 to 30 miles per hour. This is what it really feels like if you walk outdoors without gloves on, without a hat on. This is what your body feels it as. 17 below in Albany. So the key is to cover everything up when you're heading out tonight. Well, it only got to 22 in Boston and New York City. Of course, these temperatures here in the Northeast and the mid-Atlantic states well below the average, on the order of 20 degrees below the average for some of you. In and around the Midwest, the same for you, below average temperatures today, 17 degrees in Minneapolis. Chicago, you were at 27 degrees. That was your high today. With a little bit of lake effect snow out there this morning. It was a little snowy this morning, but it looks like that has tapered off. Again, lake effect snow generated by cold air passing over the warmer water of Lake Michigan. Currently in Chi-Town, we're at 27. Actually, we're at 24 degrees here, and again, high pressure sitting right over you right now. Well, we did have some pretty nice weather here in the west, and with more on that, let's go to Paul.
Well, many of the areas did see lots of sunshine here in the west. The Pacific Northwest, you've been dry, and we're seeing nice warm conditions here in parts of Southern California and the Southwest. But we're still seeing some snow in parts of the Rockies. Take a look at the satellite and radar. Yeah, there's still some green showing up. This is actually snow still falling throughout parts of the Rockies. This morning, Denver, you had snow as well. Take a look at this. Kind of a snowy scene. You had another round of snow overnight in the Denver area. And that made for a very wintry morning as you made your way to work. And again, those roadways being covered with snow probably extended your commute this morning, and hopefully everyone made it there safely. Right now, we're looking for more snow in the forecast for the Rockies. The reason why? Well, it's kind of hard to make out, but it's right there. This little surge of clouds coming through. It actually has a slight rotation to it. It's an upper level disturbance, and believe it or not, this disturbance will eventually help to bring more rain, more snow, more freezing rain and sleet out of this first storm system throughout the southeast as we head throughout the weekend. But tonight, this will kick off more snow showers in the higher elevations, kicking you well over 4, 5, 6 inches of snow. Your high temperatures in Denver, 31 degrees, so you never got above freezing, so that snow is still sticking around. Meanwhile, Phoenix, your high, 67 degrees. 68 was your high at the Civic Center in Los Angeles. 41 in Medford, 42 was your high in Portland, Oregon. Currently in Portland, you've cooled down to 37 degrees, 35 right now in Reno. Salt Lake City coming in at a chilly 26 degrees. Well, again, we're still focusing on the storm system. How will it move throughout the day on Friday? Let's find out and head back over to Kim with the forecast.
All right, Paul. Again, we're watching this system move eastward, and it will be into the south, especially into Georgia and into Alabama and into South Carolina, probably over the next day or so. And then into the mid-Atlantic states, Sunday possibly, and Monday up the East Coast. And of course, we'll have live crews reporting in this area. But at least for tonight, expect another 6 to 12 inches of snow possible here in southeastern Arkansas and also northern Mississippi. Farther south, we're going to see some heavy rainfall here in New Orleans. We could pick up over an inch of rainfall here. Temperatures tonight very cold across the south, 20s and 30s. Again, very wintry here for many of you. So please take the necessary precautions tonight if you can. Get ready for power outages as some of that freezing rain is bound to bring some trees down on the power lines here. Highs will only be in the 20s and 30s tomorrow across the south. So any snow or rain that falls, of course, will be freezing on contact. It'll be a couple of days before we get rid of this snowfall.
Well, the storm system will be playing havoc with numerous commutes across the southeast.
And if you are traveling anywhere in the southeast, you definitely want to check out TravelWise, which is coming up next.
This program was sponsored by International Paper, from innovation to results.
To me and the R&D team at International Paper, looks are just as important as content. So when an ice cream carton maker came to us for help, we created a container that's strong enough to make it from the dairy to your home. And the printing surface makes the ice cream look as good as it tastes.
Now remember, Daddy, save room for dinner.
How can we help your product look better? International Paper, from innovation to results.
Princess Grand Class Cruising in the Caribbean. With 7-day cruises from $5.99. What could be grander? Call your travel agent or 1-800-PRINCESS for your free Caribbean planning kit and video.
Wherever the weather threatens, the Weather Channel is on the scene. Our live teams and mobile unit storm tracker keep you ahead of the storm. And Penske Auto Centers keeps us on the road as vehicle maintenance provider for the Weather Channel. So you get the real story. Cold.
Well, tonight we're seeing delays in Newark and Boston, and where we would expect to see some delays here in the south, we haven't seen that yet. Of course, we're not showing like Shreveport's airport, which I'm sure there are delays, if not closures here tonight. Also in northeastern Texas, hit hard by some freezing rain here this evening. That freezing rain and sleet and snow is heading east into Birmingham, Montgomery, Atlanta, Macon by tomorrow night. Actually by tomorrow afternoon, and by tomorrow night, conditions will be pretty bad here across the southeast. If you have travel plans into the south, keep us tuned in. We will let you know what you can expect out there and any kind of delays or closures that are out there. Now in the northeast, again, still gusty northwesterly winds here. That could be the reason for delays here. Plus, it's very, very cold. Temperatures here in the teens already, probably forecast to get down to near 0 tonight. JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, Boston, all reporting delays. Again, no weather in the area. I mean, well, there's always weather, but there's no precipitation forecast for you folks, at least for now. And over the next few days, this storm system will be tracking up the east coast again, and you're going to have to pay attention to it over the next couple of days. Little Rock hit hard. Southwest of Little Rock, 14 inches of snow. So it's coming down. We don't expect totals like that, though, here into Georgia. We just expect the possibility of maybe a couple of inches in Atlanta, then changing over, unfortunately, to the frozen stuff like freezing rain and sleet, which is going to make travel treacherous for many of you. At least through tomorrow morning, folks in Atlanta, you should be able to get out to work, but it's coming home that you may have, you might find some problems. So maybe you can check ahead to see if maybe you can leave early from work tomorrow. A lot of schools are closed already tomorrow. Again, folks, here, if you're traveling in the southeast or you are already here in the southeast, get ready for power outages. That's probably going to happen, especially where you see the oranges and the pinks here. It's indicating ice. And you know what happens when ice gets on those trees? They fall on power lines and you get power outages, possibly even for days. We'll keep you up to date on this storm. Stay with us. Storm Watch is coming up.
We interrupt this program for an important news break. MCI Now offers 5 cents a minute every day, so you can call every evening and all weekend long. Bugs?
This is big news.
Right, Bugs. Just 5 cents. Mere change.
Change is good.
To sign up, just punch in 1-800 every day.
If I punch. Ow. Man, what a ham.
Call 1-800 every day to join.
On glistening Caribbean waters, there lives a beautiful princess with more private balconies. Hers is a world called Princess Grand Class Cruising. She has 24-hour dining and more entertainment. She grants you the freedom to do what you want, when you want. And with 7-day Caribbean cruises from $5.99, what could be grander? Call your travel agent or 1-800-PRINCESS for your free Caribbean planning kit and video.
Vacation kit. Call our warm hotline. Come join us in San Antonio and enjoy life with pure San Antonio style.
Your car is gonna freeze all night. It won't start unless you fight.
Before your gas line turns to ice, pour in a beaker of new Prestone Cold Start fuel additive. It works double time to fight gas line freeze and clean your fuel injectors. From the cold weather specialists, now cold starting protection. New Prestone Cold Start.
Hit me with your best shot.
Get in the Prestone zone so nothing can stop you now.
Wow!
Log on to Prestone.com for winter driving tips from the Winter Car Care leader.
As this week's blizzard paralyzed the East Coast, the Weather Channel kept you prepared with expert analysis in the studio and in the field.
It's going to be the big one.
As winter's assault continues, stay with the Weather Channel, keeping you ahead of the storm.
Can your credit card live up to the Chase Prime Pledge? We pledge to always charge the prime rate, currently 8.5%, on purchases, balance transfers, and cash advances. We pledge always to deliver prime service and the full range of platinum benefits. Call 1-800-909-7978 and apply for the Chase Prime Rate card today. We'll keep this solemn pledge to everyone who qualifies and maintains their account in good standing. The Chase Prime Rate card. Prime today, prime tomorrow. You have our word on it. Call 1-800-909-7978 today. The Chase Prime Rate card. Chase. The right relationship is everything.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Well, it looks like another ice storm within a week heading through the southeast, and there could be power lines down now in parts of Arkansas and Mississippi, and this storm is heading towards Georgia and into the Carolinas. With more details on this storm, let's go to our winter weather expert, Paul Kocin.
Good evening, everyone. Well, we're still plagued with yet another winter storm. This time it's the south stern, and it's going to be the south stern for a while now, going into the next couple of days, and then it'll be more winter weather moving up the eastern seaboard. So Raleigh-Durham, you haven't seen the end of your significant snow, as it looks like another siege of winter weather is going to be on your way. Let's take a look at some of the conditions aloft that are driving the conditions, the winter weather conditions now occurring over the south. The area highlighted over here represents where we've already seen the significant snow and ice to the south. It's associated with an upper level disturbance that it's going to be moving into a very strong northwesterly flow aloft that's providing a lot of the cold air that we're seeing coming down into the southeastern United States. With this disturbance, we have low pressure across the southeast. That's going to continue moving east as the upper level disturbance moves towards the east overnight and into Friday. Notice that this system is beginning to weaken as it moves into this strong northwesterly flow, but at the surface we'll still continue to see low pressure move, not develop strongly, but the area of significant snowfall will continue to move east and shrink in size, but still will move towards the northern regions of Alabama, Georgia, and southern Tennessee as we get towards Friday. But notice towards the west we still have a significant upper level trough that will sort of take the place of this initial storm system, and as it does so, we'll see the low pressure system stay over the Gulf Coast and begin to respond to the other low pressure or upper level trough we see towards the west. What that means is that we'll have a prolonged period of low pressure staying along the southeastern coast, and what will happen as that upper level trough to the west continues to move to the east and intensify, we'll see the low pressure then begin to respond again, develop strongly, and begin to move up the eastern seaboard on Sunday. So what we're going to see is a continued period of frozen precipitation moving across the southern United States, stay there, and then begin to move up towards the eastern seaboard. This is the conditions evening. Here's our low pressure system associated with that upper level disturbance. It's going to move towards the east, and we'll see the moisture conditions associated with that begin to shrink in size and cover portions of the southern United States across northern Mississippi, Alabama, and then Georgia on Friday, where we'll see snow begin to move in. As that upper level system continues to weaken and the other upper level system begins to affect the storm system, we'll see low pressure continue to move across the southern United States, and we'll get a new influx of moisture as the system affects the southeast. What that means is cold air will continue to funnel into the southeast, and we'll see a widespread area of precipitation continue to break out on Saturday with snow to the north and freezing rain and sleet to the south. That will continue to move northeastward up along the eastern seaboard, where we'll continue to see frozen precipitation move up north of that line in terms of freezing rain and sleet within this area in here, and snow to the north. So a continuation of winter weather conditions across the southern United States, very bad driving conditions across the metropolitan areas of the south, and then as we get towards the weekend, current conditions now show that a significant snow, freezing rain and sleet situation will begin to move again through the Carolinas and into the northeastern United States by Sunday and Sunday night. We'll be following that all weekend, so please stay tuned. Let's go back to the studio.
What if your car knew you? Would it make you feel more at home? Could it put you in a more comfortable driving position? What if it could make more room for your life? Prevent problems before they happen? Or light the road better at night? It's time to stop wondering what if. Introducing the new 2000 Ford Taurus. More comfort, more convenience.
At Wyndham Hotels and Resorts, we have a way of performing for our guests. A way of responding. Even a way of surprising. So it should come as no surprise that Wyndham is the official hotel of another extraordinary performer, Cirque du Soleil. Here's a surprise. New Wyndham Miles airline partners to help you earn more miles.
Well, I never thought when my son moved away that I wouldn't see him for 3 years.
It's just a tractor for my grandson.
But this trip I wasn't going to miss.
He's sleeping.
My son had built his own life.
He got a John Deere.
Of course. But he still appreciates where he came from.
The LT-133 from John Deere. The only lawn tractor with a past as bright as its future.
For more information about lawn and garden equipment, contact your local John Deere dealer.
On the move or just hanging around? Chapped lips hurt. Ouch! Give me my chapstick. Chapstick lip moisturizer with vitamin E and aloe. It does more than protect, it helps heal too. For protection that helps heal, stick with chapstick.
People really like SUVs.
They're big, they're roomy.
They're perfect for the outdoors.
You know what would be a great promotion? Rent a Ford Explorer for the price of our Taurus if you climb Mount Everest.
Let's just do the Explorer for the price of our Taurus.
That's a great deal. I would have to agree.
Yeah.
It's a good deal, good
Sums
car.
it up. Very nice.
Join Marshall Thies and Heather Tesh every weekday morning from 7 to 9 Eastern for Your Weather Today. It's a new way to plan your day.
The Weather Channel is brought to you by this cable or satellite provider. You can also get reliable forecasts from the Weather Channel through this newspaper. Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
A powerful winter storm is bringing everything from snow to freezing rain through the south tonight, and tomorrow is likely to be a messy day. Hello and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by Ginkgoba. I'm Sharon Resultan.
And I'm Carl Parker. Thanks for joining us. This storm has already left ice or snow-covered roads from Texas to Kansas to Louisiana. Traveling is not easy in the Arklatex tonight. Sleet, freezing rain, and snow have made the roads slick around the region. Precipitation is now coming to an end, and tomorrow will be dry with a high in the 30s, but that is not going to be the case across much of the rest of the southeast here. We've got a fairly vigorous upper-level storm right here. You can see that spin that is grabbing moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, taking that moisture and throwing it into very cold air, and the result has been this mixture here. A lot of snow back here into parts of Oklahoma and Arkansas, more than a foot of snow in some locations. Absolutely amazing. A lot of snow here in North Mississippi. Some areas already 5 inches of snow. We've got freezing rain and sleet a little farther along towards the south here into Jackson, Mississippi and northern parts of Louisiana. And then it's rain, fairly heavy rain, and also a few thunderstorms right along the Gulf Coast. Take a look at these numbers here. One location in Oklahoma, 17 inches of snow. Fort Smith, Arkansas, 11 inches. Oklahoma City, 9 inches. Wichita, 6 inches. Amazing amounts of snow for the South Central Plains and the Mid-South tonight. We take you on a little radar tour here, and starting off in Arkansas, we do have some snow continuing to fall, some fairly heavy snow just south and east of Little Rock, areas just south and west of Little Rock picking up quite a bit. Take a look at this. This is Little Rock, Arkansas, and the snow began early this afternoon, very heavy at times. As you can see, the snow piled up on the ground and on the roads, and many of you in this area have seen more than a half a foot of snow. We take a look at the radar picture once again here, and again south of 40, Little Rock and on southward, very heavy snow continues to fall here. We're finding snow into North Mississippi tonight around Tupelo. A little farther along towards the south, it begins to change over into sleet and freezing rain. That has been the case around Jackson and Meridian, so right in here we're going to see a lot of ice. It's going to be a really nasty situation right along 20 here and down 55. Then farther south, it's all rain here, and a little farther to the east, we are seeing the snow again moving into Alabama, starting to fall here in parts of Alabama, and again that mix right through here. A lot of this, though, is not actually reaching the ground. It's virga. It's drying out before it hits the ground, so it's going to take a while before that happens, but we do think that eventually we're going to see quite a bit here in the way of snow, sleet, and freezing rain through much of the Mid-South as we head on through the night and into tomorrow. Right now, temperatures actually above freezing in Birmingham and in Atlanta, but those temps will come down because of evaporative cooling as we head on through the night here and the moisture begins to make its way towards the ground. So this is what we're looking for in terms of precipitation tonight. Parts of North Mississippi, south of Tupelo, towards Starkville and Columbus, and then westward along 82 towards Greenville and Greenwood, maybe as much as 6 to 12 inches of snow, that area in pink right there. Many areas seeing 3 to 6 inches of snow. Additionally, here into southwest Missouri, and these areas have already seen a lot of snow. That'll continue down through Arkansas and then right on into Alabama. That is through mid-morning tomorrow. Then right in here, that transition zone, that's where we're going to see the sleet and the freezing rain, very rough conditions, and then it's rain a little farther along towards the south. Here's how the map looks for tomorrow. Now, we have very cold air nosing on down here into the southeast, and this ridge, because it's very strong and very dry, is going to initially keep that precipitation from moving in. So we'll start to see the snow moving in into tomorrow in Atlanta, and then we think by late tomorrow in Atlanta, the snow will definitely be falling, maybe a few inches here, and then as we see some warmer air begin to ride up into the mid-levels, we'll see a changeover into sleet and freezing rain, and that could continue overnight tomorrow, all through Saturday, and perhaps into Sunday. So this is going to be quite an event. It's going to last for a long time. So anywhere here in the Deep South, you need to watch the Weather Channel and stay tuned to the very latest. Well, we take you into the Northeast here, and we have some cold weather and very windy conditions. And with more on that now, here's Sharon.
Yeah, that's right. The winds continue across the Northeast, and those winds coming in out of the north to northwest continue to pull in a tremendous amount of cold air, leaving you with departures from average for some of those highs as much as 20 degrees below where you should be for this time of the year. So dramatically cooler anywhere from the eastern Great Lakes on into the Northeast and even extending into the mid-Atlantic states. We can zoom in. We'll find the actual high temperatures really only in the 20s here in the Boston, New York, all the way down toward D.C., and lots of temperatures in the teens and single digits stretching into portions of upstate New York. Once you factor in those brisk winds, you'll find that wind chills are down into the single digits as well. Around Burlington, 3 above, 4 above in Albany, and 12 right now heading on into New York City. There's a look at, actually those were the current temperatures. There's a look at the wind chills well below the 0 marker, 22 below, one of the worst areas in there around Philadelphia, and 1 below is what it actually feels like in and around Cleveland. And with the colder air moving across still unfrozen lake waters, we're finding very localized bands of lake effect snow setting up here, maybe just 5-10 miles wide at the most for some of you. So a small portion of you affected by these lake effect snows, but they are persistent and they will produce some accumulations. Let's take you into the Midwest. We continue to find some snow flying back in through the Central Plain states and even in and around Kansas City. And again, it's just going to be a snowy evening for you. Light snow expected, maybe 1 to 3 inches for most of you. Temperatures are cold enough to support some pretty brisk conditions for the overnight. Fortunately, high pressure sitting on top of you here, so not so much as far as a wind chill until you head out toward the upper Midwest and northern plains, where it feels like 2 above in Minneapolis and 18 below heading into Fargo. So that's a look at what's happening in the Midwest and the Northeast. We're going to go westward now with Carl.
And things are looking pretty good out west. We have a big ridge of high pressure and control here, so a lot of clear sky, not too many problems. We got up to 47 today in Seattle, 60 in San Francisco, so above normal in the Bay Area, 68 in LA, and 31 in Denver. Right now we're 27 in Denver, 45 in Albuquerque, 59 in Phoenix, and 58 in Las Vegas. How about your forecast? Here's Sharon.
Well, again, as we go into your Friday morning, we're going to find most of the action across the southeast, so in through the deep south. Keep in mind it's going to be very tough travel, even if it means setting your alarm a little bit earlier just to get up, find out what kind of closings may be at hand or what kind of road conditions you may have to contend with. Do just that. Tune in the morning and find out how things are faring here. There are some bursts of some heavier snow, as Carl mentioned. There are going to be areas that switch from snow to a mixture of precipitation, and some slick conditions will certainly result. And there's a look at the rain, and some of the rain could be heavy at times along portions of Interstate 10. So even where you've got the liquid variety of precipitation, there still could be a few problems out there. High pressure is going to keep you high and dry across the Great Lakes, extending down through the mid-Atlantic. You'll find a few more snow showers in through the Northeast, and a few more spits of some light snow up around portions of Maine. Out to the west, all should remain quiet, the exception being in through the Rockies, where we'll find a few more areas of snow, and some of that extending into the northern plain states. Notice as we go into your Friday evening, the moisture moving on into areas like Atlanta. We'll probably start to see some more accumulating snow. And we'll find still south of the Atlanta area, maybe even on in toward Macon, the potential for some icy conditions. So we'll need to keep an eye out for that. For the overnight into the mid-morning, though, here's where your best bet for accumulations will be. And as we work our way into the overnight lows, you'll find that the bitter cold air remains across much of the east. We're going to find temperatures in the single digits below zero around Chicago, South Bend, on in toward Detroit, and a good chunk of the U.S. only seeing highs into the 20s for Friday. Cool way to start out the weekend.
Yeah, and we could see a real mess tomorrow morning in the southeast.
Absolutely. We'll have the very latest on your travel trouble spots next on TravelWise.
This program was sponsored by Ginkgoba, the #1 supplement for memory and concentration.
There's exciting news from Ginkgoba, the #1 memory brand, Ginkgoba Mental Energy. Today's world demands top mental performance. Like a computer, we're processing information quickly and making faster decisions. So upgrade your brain with unique Ginkgoba ME. Important clinical research shows Ginkgoba ME safely reduces mental fatigue and increases mental processing speed. Upgrade your brain with Ginkgoba ME. Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Florida will fade over time. Postcards will bend and crack. Diary entries will age and weather. But you will never need these things when you leave here, because the memories you make will remain within you forever. And there are so many ways to make them in Florida.
Now that the entire Florida Keys have been declared a national marine sanctuary, we can all breathe easier.
This year, plan your vacation with Visit Florida and the Florida Keys and Key West. Come as you are. Call us toll-free or contact us online today.
Well, here it is, the third winter storm in less than a week. We had the big problem here with the ice in the southeast, of course, about a week ago. The huge storm in the northeast just within the last couple of days. And once again, we're looking at a big storm here in the southeast, a very vigorous storm that's working through the southeast as we speak. It's grabbing up moisture from the Gulf of Mexico and throwing that moisture into very cold air. And the result has been a lot of snow in some locations, anywhere from, let's say, central and western Arkansas into east central Oklahoma, more than a foot of snow. And the snow continues to fall right now here in North Mississippi, several inches in a few areas here. Farther southward in this orange area, we're talking about sleet and freezing rain. That's going to be a huge problem here right through the middle of Dixie into central Mississippi, central Alabama, and into central Georgia, and eventually a little farther along towards the north here. Then farther southward, this is heavy rain right along the Gulf Coast. So here's a look at your travel weather problems through tomorrow morning. We're going to be dealing with snow anywhere from Kansas on south and eastward across 40 here into Memphis. Again, we've had several inches of snow and more than a foot of snow in a couple of locations. Absolutely amazing for this region here. The snow is now falling in North Mississippi as well as in the parts of Arkansas and beginning to inch into Alabama. Then farther southward, it's going to be this mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, ice into southern Mississippi, Jackson down 55 here, and then a thin strip of ice as we get into southern parts of Alabama and on into Georgia. There's a bigger look at it for you. We're also going to see some snow showers here in the high plains with yet another disturbance that's going to be moving on down here. Maybe a few thunderstorms in southern parts of Louisiana. We haven't had too many problems with thunderstorms today. And fog is going to be a problem primarily out west. In the northwest here, right around Seattle and Portland, as well as into the Central Valley of California and northeastern parts of Colorado. A lot of wind here right along the Gulf Coast, New Orleans, and on westward towards Houston and Galveston and down into South Texas. And the wind continues here in the northeast. It was not a bad day today, still fairly chilly. Tomorrow we're talking about 24 for the high in Philly. Factor in the wind, it's going to feel colder than that. Obviously, most of the problems here in the southeast, the snow begins to move into Atlanta tomorrow, probably right around the middle of the day, maybe a few flakes early on, and then eventually that will change over to sleet and freezing rain, we think, and that could continue through much of Saturday. Your skiers forecast is coming right up.
This program was sponsored by Budget, who has a variety of great rental cars for people who like renting great cars.
Let's make the driving experience more enjoyable.
We'll rent Jaguars, town cars.
And the Grand Marquis for $49.
Oh, the cars will have leather seats, a CD player.
And aromatherapy candles.
Oh. We don't really need aromatherapy candles. Maybe not the candles, but the enjoyable thing is good, you know?
Your car is gonna freeze all night. It won't start unless you fight.
Before your gas line turns to ice, pour in a beaker of new Prestone Cold Start fuel additive. It works double time to fight gas line freeze and clean your fuel injectors. From the cold weather specialists, now cold starting protection. New Prestone Cold Start.
Hit me with your best shot.
Get in the Prestone zone so nothing can stop you now. Log on to Prestone.com for winter driving tips from the Winter Car Care Leader.
It is time now for your skiers forecast, and we check out the Northeast. First of all, Killington, pack powder there, 195 trails open and 3 new inches of snow. Into Mount Snow, 7 new inches there, 107 trails open. We take you to Jackson Hole, 5 new inches there, 100 trails open. Powder conditions in Aspen, 8 new inches at Keystone and also Telluride, and powder conditions with 92 trails open and Telluride. And we're expecting more snow, generally east of the Rockies here in the Rockies and east of the Rockies, and also right on down into the southeast. Not a lot of skiing here, but an awful lot of snow in Mississippi and Alabama.
If you're away from your television, check out Skiers Forecast on the World Wide Web at weather.com. We'll provide you with easy access to the latest ski conditions and even webcam views of selected resorts across the country. That's Skiers Forecast from the Weather Channel at weather.com.
We've got a couple nice SUVs, a new convertible, some minivans. The crooks hide the cars behind boxes and smuggle them out of the country. You can be out here all day and not find one. One day we got 17. By making it hard for car thieves to do business, we're making it cheaper for you to do business with us. You're in good hands with Allstate. Mine.
To find an agent near you, contact 1-800-ALLSTATE or visit our website at allstate.com.
If your car's going to run right this winter, it's going to need the right stuff. Crew Chief Oil Change, Goodyear all-season tires, batteries, Protec antifreeze replacement, brakes, and ask about our 90 days same-as-cash opportunity with the Penske Auto Center Visa card. Only at Penske Auto Centers. No payment, no interest for up to 90 days to get your car ready for winter. Penske Auto Center. It's the quality car care system.
Penske Auto Center, the quality car care system.
We interrupt this program for an important news break. MCI Now offers 5 cents a minute every day, so you can call every evening and all weekend long. Bugs?
This is big news.
Right, Bugs. Just 5 cents. Mere change.
Change is good.
To sign up, just punch in 1-800 every day.
If I punch. Ow. Man, what a ham.
Call 1-800 every day to join.
It's a new way to plan your day. Get the weather information you need from Marshall Cease and Heather Tesh, including your local forecast on the 8th. Tune into Your Weather Today, weekday mornings from 7 till 9 Eastern on the Weather Channel.
And hold, and release. And now take a journey to a beautiful, happy place. And Debbie, where are you? In a beautiful garden. Brad?
I'm on a sandy beach.
Richard?
I'm at my computer trading stocks on Ameritrade for $8.
$8? Flat rate?
$8. I'm off the beach. I'm trading stocks.
I'm getting real-time quotes.
Good. I just bought stock. I sold a stock. Very positive. I'm getting an email alert.
Can I change to Ameritrade? I'm live.
I'm trading on my web phone.
You're lighting up. I want to do a headstand.
Oh, that's weird. It's your body. It's natural.
Get back on your mat, Brad.
Open your cash account by February 29th with $500 and get a 50% rebate on your first month's commissions up to 20 equity trades. Visit Ameritrade.com. Ameritrade. Believe in yourself.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel. Get the forecast for the next 7 days in your weekly planner.
This program is sponsored by eStamp Internet Postage. Postage when you need it.
Your business is eating into your family time. Can you be in both places at once? Yes. With a color printout and some glue, your kids will always know that Mom is there for them. For school functions, for fun on the weekends, and for those special holidays. Here's another time-saving tip. Get eStamp Internet Postage and buy and print postage whenever you want. That's eStamp-tastic.
And a reminder that your weekly planner is sponsored by eStamps. Let's go ahead and take a look at the jet stream pattern, which is going to be changing. We'll find a bit of a change here as we evolve on into the early portion of next week, meaning that you may see some more wet weather enter the picture in the west where it's dried out some, and you may get a break from some of the action in parts of the east. We'll start you out first looking at Friday through Sunday, and again you can find our slowly evolving cutoff area of low pressure. The subtropical branch, or the southern branch of the jet stream, is still fairly active right on into Monday, meaning that we're going to continue to see the potential in some parts of the east here for some very cold temperatures because the surface winds are actually out of the northeast. However, we're still seeing some moisture coming into play, and we're still finding a few disturbances riding along that jet. But as we get on into Tuesday and beyond, we think we may see a bit more of a pattern change and more of that onshore flow coming at you in the west, meaning the wet weather is likely to return. Let's go ahead and take a look then at your Friday. A few more snow showers in through the Rockies, but the big news, of course, is going to be what's happening here into the deep south and the southeast, with some snowy travel extending from Memphis all the way back toward Huntsville and Atlanta, Georgia for Friday. At some point during the day, maybe even later in the night, we may see that changing over to some sleet or some freezing rain for your Saturday in and around those aforementioned cities. To the south, notice the potential for some freezing rain or some frozen precipitation, maybe around Birmingham and back down toward Macon. So anywhere across the deep south, you are advised to keep abreast of the latest and watch for changeable conditions as we go through the day. Saturday still looking equally as nasty here. It's going to be very, very tough for the roads. And the difference between this system and the one that just hit you across the deep south is the fact that it's been a very cold week. So the ground is much cooler, and you're likely to find more problems on the roadways compared to what you saw a week ago. A week ago, we had some freezing rain, but still some of the interstates were okay to drive on. It's going to be a little bit slicker, we think, with this particular system as it moves on through. Still some more snow here into parts of eastern Tennessee, changing over to a mixture Friday night into Saturday around Atlanta. And exactly how much sleet and or freezing rain you're likely to see remains to be seen, but obviously freezing rain, the worst case scenario, and the most dangerous to drive on. A lot of that moving out of the region by Sunday, pushing up through the southeast and heading up the eastern seaboard. Another system running up the coast here, and that'll mean some messy precipitation for you into Monday, heading into parts of the northeast and the mid-Atlantic states. Lots of snow showers and maybe a messy mixture for many of the coastal cities. But interesting to note, as you saw with the jet stream, more of an onshore flow by Monday. We bring the rain back into Seattle, all the way down towards San Francisco, and that's about where it's going to stay as we head on into next week. So be prepared for some changing conditions, a little bit more of a warm-up here into parts of the east, and getting wetter as we head on into the west. So keep an eye out for that. All right, there's a look at your highs for Friday. Lots and lots of cold air into Saturday. Same old story. We'll see a slow moderating trend in temperatures as we head through the weekend into early next week, getting things a little closer to the average as we extend on into Tuesday, maybe even a few degrees above the average for some parts of the east. And a similar story as we look at some of these overnight lows. Notice we go from lots of readings in the single digits and even some teens below zero to temperatures in the 20s around the Great Lakes region right on into early next week. So a shift in the pattern is going to mean some warming temperatures in the east and some wetter weather as we head on into the west. Your Weekend Outlook is sponsored by Princess Cruise Lines, and again, we're going to continue to find some fairly decent weather into parts of the west on through the weekend. Partly cloudy into Lovington, New Mexico with a Show of Wheels car show, 52 degrees. Super Bowl weather looking kind of wintry for Sunday. Maybe a few more snowflakes in the air and temperatures around 36. Here's a look at your Saturday. High temperatures, Saturday's weather again, still featuring that messy mixture across the deep south. Snow may spread on up towards St. Louis in the form of some scattered snow showers and still wet for you all the way down into Florida. So getting to the Super Bowl could be a little bit problematic. A look at your Sunday weather, snowy and icy as we stretch up the eastern seaboard with temperatures borderline.
This program was sponsored by Princess Cruises. Experience grand class cruising only with Princess.
On glistening Caribbean waters, there lives a beautiful princess with more private balconies. Hers is a world called Princess Grand Class Cruising. She has 24-hour dining and more entertainment. She grants you the freedom to do what you want, when you want. And with 7-day Caribbean cruises from $5.99, what could be grander? Call your travel agent or 1-800-PRINCESS for your free Caribbean planning kit and video.
So, they'll get off the bus, pick out the car they want, and be on their way in seconds.
We'll call it Fast Break, our fastest way to rent a car.
Can we get people from the airport to their car quicker? We can if we give everyone jet propulsion packs.
I like the Fast Break idea.
That's a great idea. I like that one. Okay, let's go with that one. Wow.
I was ashamed of it.
For millions,
I'd actually have to hide.
gas can be a serious problem, but Phazime starts to work on contact. To relieve gas, Phazime Fast.
Phazime. It works just like that.
Relieve gas, Phazime Fast.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Check weather.com from the Weather Channel, and you'll see it coming.
Well, a powerful winter storm is bringing everything from snow to freezing rain through the south tonight, and tomorrow is likely to be a messy day. Hello and welcome to Weather Center, sponsored by Chevrolet. I'm Sharon Resultan.
And I'm Carl Parker. Thanks for joining us. This storm has already left ice or snow-covered roads from Texas to Kansas to Louisiana. Traveling is not easy in the Arklatex tonight. Sleet, freezing rain, and snow have made the roads slick around the region. The precip is coming to an end, and tomorrow will be dry with a high in the 30s, but that is not going to be the story for much of the rest of the southeast. So what's happening here? We've got a fairly vigorous upper-level storm. It is right about here. You see that upper-level spin right there? It is grabbing a lot of moisture from the Gulf of Mexico, throwing it up here to the Mid-South, and the result has been this mix of snow, sleet, freezing rain, and also rain. The snow continues to fall now back into parts of Oklahoma, as well as through much of Arkansas, northern Mississippi. Then farther southward, it is sleet and freezing rain, and then all rain and some very heavy rain a little bit farther along towards the south. Take a look at these snowfall amounts here. One location in Oklahoma, 17 inches of snow. Absolutely amazing. 11 inches in Fort Smith. Oklahoma City picking up 9 inches, 6 yesterday, an additional 3 today. Wichita 6 inches, and Tulsa picking up 5 inches. We take you into Arkansas, and the snow continues to fall here, now beginning to taper off south and west of Little Rock, but that's where it really fell today, on the order of a foot or better. And this is what it looked like around the middle of the day. Began this afternoon, was very heavy at times, and as you can see, the snow piled up on the ground and on the roads, and many of you in this area have seen more than a half a foot of snow. So very slow going here in Arkansas, and the heavy snow continues to fall now, again around Little Rock and a little farther along towards the south and towards the east. Now we take you into North Mississippi. We've got a real mixed bag here. Snow in the northeastern part of the state around Tupelo, farther southward on 45 towards West Point. Then it becomes a mixture of snow, sleet, and freezing rain, and so this is really going to be a trouble spot through the middle of the state. So far here in Alabama, nobody's reporting anything because it's falling into drier air and evaporating before it hits the ground, but eventually we do think that the atmosphere will moisten up and we will eventually see that mixture into Alabama and Georgia. Farther south here, we have a mixture of freezing rain and sleet in Jackson, and more of the same towards Meridian. And then as we get down into the southern part of the state and towards New Orleans, this is all very heavy rain, and it is all a cold rain. It is a lousy night here in the southeast. Again into Alabama, not a lot of this is actually hitting the ground. This is virga falling into that drier air, but we do eventually expect it to reach the ground, so it could be kind of rough into Atlanta tomorrow morning, and certainly by the middle of the day and late in the day tomorrow, you're going to see snow in Atlanta, and eventually that's going to change over, we think, to sleet and freezing rain. We're at 37 in Atlanta right now, 37 in Birmingham. Those temperatures will drop as the precipitation begins to fall. 49 in New Orleans. Again, a lousy night here. 36 in Houston now, and 26 into Little Rock. So here's the precip forecast. This area right here into North Mississippi, 6 to 12 inches. Along 82 here, 45, and also along 55, a lot of snow. And of course, in that transition zone, we're talking about sleet and freezing rain. May take a while for it to get into Atlanta early tomorrow morning, but by the middle of the day, we think it will make it into the area. Snow is going to be falling through much of the day, and again, that could change over to sleet and freezing rain, and it's going to be a real mess through the middle of the south here. Well, into the northeast, it continues to be cold and windy, and with more on that now, here is Sharon.
Well, that's right, and the winds are tending to pull down some chillier air and leaving you with readings that are, oh, good 15, 20 degrees colder than you'd expect for this time of the year. Those were the departures from the average across most of the Northeast and on into the Mid-Atlantic states. Actual high temperature, 22 in Boston, also into New York, 25 into Washington, D.C., and only making it into the single digits and teens across much of the north and east. Current temperature, 4 above in Albany, 9 in Boston, 12 as you can see around New York. But keep in mind the winds are still gusty here, and we are still finding a wind chill, making it feel dramatically cooler in Boston. It feels like 22 below, 28 below into Burlington, Vermont, and 11 below into Albany, 21 below around Philly. So definitely a nip to the air, and you need to bundle up. Wear lots and lots of layers, as you probably well know by now, but don't let your guard down just because the thermometer is maybe a few degrees warmer than it has been in the past week or so. Again, we are still finding some of that lake effect snow. It's very localized, and the main band, the most persistent band, is right here just south of Buffalo. Finding another one in and around Cleveland, but these friends are all very light and likely to produce some light accumulations, and that's about it, and very localized. So you could literally be traveling along the toll road here in Ohio, the turnpike, and run into just a maybe 10-mile band of some snow, and then things will kind of clear up for you. Speaking of clearing up, that's exactly what's happened here across the upper Midwest. We're finding a little bit of snow as we extend into parts of the Plain States and back down toward Kansas City. It's kind of working its way up in your direction. So we'll continue to look for some light snow and light accumulations here. But really the big news across the Midwest is the cold air that's hanging on with this very strong area of high pressure. 21 in Chicago, 9 in Green Bay. High pressure here, light winds, finding gustier winds, slightly gustier winds around the Twin Cities, bringing your wind chill. Well, this hour it's not down, but it was last hour. You are finding a wind chill around Fargo at 21 below, and 2 below is what it feels like into Sioux Falls. Out to the west, fairly tranquil. It's a pattern that may be changing soon, but here's what's happening right now. Carl?
That's right. Eventually, we do expect to see onshore flow return here in the west, but right now we have a big ridge of high pressure in control, so for the most part, a beautiful day here. A lot of clear sky today, a lot of sunshine, and it continues to be very mild here in the southwest. 60 for the high in San Francisco today, 68 in LA, 63 in Vegas, 67 in Phoenix. Right now we're at 54 in Vegas, 34 in Portland, and 27 degrees into Denver. How about that forecast for tomorrow morning? Here is Sharon.
Well, let's check it out. We'll start you again with your Friday morning, leaving you with that big mess here across the south. Keep it tuned to the Weather Channel. We'll let you know exactly what you can expect from this, what type of precipitation is falling in your location, and give you an idea of road conditions across your region as well. But again, it's going to be a very messy scenario, and we don't want to underplay the fact that roads are going to deteriorate, at least the road conditions will, as we go through the day on Friday. Midday hours, as you can see, still quite a bit of mixture here of frozen precipitation. To the north of that, you'll find the snow moving on into the Atlanta area and probably accumulating, or better chances for accumulation, later in the day. But we'll keep an eye on this whole scenario with very wet conditions along Interstate 10, I-75, and eventually encroaching on I-95 as we head on into your Sunday. There's a look at your Friday evening. Drier as we go across the Great Lakes, Mid-Atlantic and Northeast. Just a few areas of snowy weather, very, very localized here, and a few snow showers into the northern plain states. A look again at your precipitation forecast. Most significant amount of snow falling into interior sections or central areas of Mississippi, maybe entering the picture here into Alabama. And as Carl mentioned, not really any reporting stations reporting anything right now. If anything's falling to the ground, it's in between those stations. But as the atmosphere moistens up, we will find some of that snow sticking to the ground eventually. Finally, there's a look at your overnight lows. Still a real chilly night across much of the nation. And there's a look at your Friday highs, leaving you with readings below the average again, especially when you consider the south, but about average, maybe even a little bit above in the upper Midwest.
It was not all that long ago that we were talking about a very mild fall and winter, and all of that has changed.
Some of that may return, though, in the east, and we'll talk more about that coming up.
This program was sponsored by Chevrolet, the cars millions of people depend on every day. Chevy, we'll be there.
Introducing the all-new Chevy Monte Carlo. Green. The side you show the world is up to you.
Right now, it's your local forecast on the Weather Channel.
Run a business. You are your own boss. Do you really have time to shred those important documents one by one? No. That's right. Kill two birds with one stone. Good work. You've executed 2 tasks in half the time. Here's another time-saving tip. Get eStamp brand internet postage and buy and print postage whenever you want. That's eStamp-tastic.
I'm hungry.
Yeah, can you cook something? Cook something, cook something. Cook something.
Enjoy that great ballpark taste in no time. With Ballpark Singles, individually wrapped for your microwave to steam in that flavor you love and the big juicy taste you expect from a ballpark.
You could be a chef.
I'll stick with the ballpark.
Ballpark Singles, such a big juicy taste, they plump when you cook them.
Well, some dangerous travel conditions setting up as we extend anywhere from Arkansas all the way back in through the Deep South. And not all of the green reaching the map. It almost looks as though we're finding some of this pushing into Alabama, moving into portions of north and central Georgia. But the atmosphere is so dry due to a very strong area of high pressure to the north that is encroaching down across this region. This is not actually reaching the ground yet, but eventually it will. And it will mean some very tough travel for you across much of the Deep South and Southeast, extending through your Friday. So we want you to be aware of that. Stripe of pink here indicating where you could find the most dangerous travel of all, and that's the freezing rain. The orange indicating where you could find a mixture, maybe some snow and some freezing rain and some sleet. And again, a snow event as we look at the all white. But whatever way you want to cut it here, it's going to be very, very tough for your travel on Friday, extending on into Saturday for many of you, and in fact maybe even for some of you, some of the effects may linger into Sunday. So obviously the worries would be for travel and also for any significant icing that could mean more extended power outages, and that's certainly not what many folks in parts of the South want to hear. As you can see, Interstate 40 majorly impacted by the snow right now, and some of the snow has been heavy in parts of Arkansas. Eventually I-75 will be impacted, but Interstate 65 through the overnight and a good chunk of I-20. Very, very changeable weather can be expected here, and watch out for sudden slick spots, especially on the bridges and the on and off ramps and the overpasses, areas that tend to ice up first. All right, there's a look too at your potential for thunderstorms, including you here into New Orleans, where you could find some gusty winds associated with some of those thunderstorms should they develop. Foggy travel will be a factor out to the west, where visibilities are likely to be reduced to a half mile or even less. Here's a look at your windy travel. Well, we know it's brisk here in the Northeast. It's bringing your wind chills into sub-zero levels. For some of you in the 20s below zero. So whatever you do, do bundle up and make sure that the pets are properly taken care of. We take you into the south and we'll find some brisk winds. Oh, anywhere from Brownsville to Corpus Christi to Houston and extending on into New Orleans. All right, there's a look at the Northeast. And again, things are obviously going to remain on the brisk side for your Friday. The southeast is going to be the trouble area. Again, we'll watch some of that snow moving on into Atlanta. South of Atlanta, a mixture of precipitation, we think, and rain along a good chunk of Interstate 10 as we go into your Friday afternoon. We'll be right back.
Michelin would like to remind you, there's only one safety feature on the road that actually touches the road. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Michelin tires are available at a dealer near you. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.